Dr. Dampare began the whole situation with a great demeanor, fantastic demeanor. It's a demeanor of a military man, it's a demeanor of a security expert, it's a demeanor of a security couple. You know, that stoicness, that's how he started. And then he began on a tangent about his personal background. And then he was talking, and I started smiling. I started making my notes. And I asked my people, are you making the notes? Everybody. So everybody makes the notes. We compare it at the end. So I started smiling. I said, Dampare again. So he went on this excessive PR. Oh, and in doing the PR, he opened up a very humble demeanor, an extremely humble demeanor. And he was going on and on. He's detribalized Ghanaian. He comes from Nkonya. He comes from Ekropon. Comes from Eastern region, and then he ran into difficulty. He ran into the difficulty of Article 17. And that's what happens when the PR is excessive. Because the things Dr. Dampare said about himself, and for which reason he was extolling his patriotism, are things that run counter to the spirit of Article 17 of the 1992 Constitution. Dr. Dampare is unaware that the things that he was saying is running counter to the spirit of Article 17 of the Republican Constitution, because that's what happens when a security couple is doing PR. That's what happens. So I was looking at the thing, I said, which election is Dr. Dampare running for? Which election is he presenting himself for? Everything he was saying was intended to court public sympathy. In doing so, I will show you how he has run counter to Article 17. Don't worry about it, I'm going to show you. Dr. Dampare is a fantastic story. That's what worries me. Dr. Dampare's story is so great that he doesn't need to ornament it. Dr. Dampare doesn't need to ornament his story with anything. The story by itself is great. No formal secondary education. He wrote O-levels by himself. There are a lot of them in the military and in the police, though. I can say that. And people who watch me understand why I can say that. There are a lot of people like that. No formal education, write O-level themselves. I know plenty of them personally. Wrote O-level himself, studied to become a chartered accountant, got promotion. That story is a great story already. Why does he need to ornament it? Which election is Dr. Dampare running for so that he has to do so much PR? Today, the thing was so much PR that he was even about to cry. The Inspector General of Police sat in front of a parliament committee and giving his opening remarks, he was pushing himself to tears. What election is Dr. Dampare running for? Which ballot paper has his photograph so that he wants us to vote for him? Let's vote for him so that we are free. Because it looks like he's looking for something. His story is one of the best Ghanaian stories. Dampare's story is one of the greatest Ghanaian stories. All what he did to become Inspector General of Police is a fantastic story. Those of us who supported Dampare to be Inspector General of Police, because the story was that he's been constable. He's joined the police from zero to the top. That's a great story. That's why those of us who said, if that is the case, they should give the thing to Dampare. Because the contest was Dampare, Kofi Boakye. I mean, I'm Kofi Boakye's friend. I mean, you know that. I don't know Dr. Dampare that well. I know Kofi Boakye very, very well. And I thought, Charlie is Kofi Boakye. The people call Charlie your man. Oh. But I heard the story and said that, as for this story, it's a great story. Constable, is that where he started from? They said, yes. I said, then this one, they should give it to Dampare. A constable to PhD. They should give it to Dampare. Dampare's story is a great Ghanaian story. Please, those of you who know him, ask him, why does he need to ornament the story? Why is he putting icing again on a cake that has icing already? In doing so, he appears like he's running for an election. In doing so, he appears like he's competing with politicians. Let's first deal with the Article 17 story. So, Dampare says he is a Ghanaian who comes from 3 different places. And that is the reason why, I'll show you the video in a minute. That is the reason why he's patriotic. What is the point he's making? So those of us who come from, so me, for instance, what? Yes. Assuming that I come from Wale Wale. This is Wale Wale here. This is Wale Wale. So please put the thing on the TV. Let them see Wale Wale clearly. Yes, so you can see now that's Wale Wale over there in the red. So both of my parents come from Wale Wale. So Okay, come back to the studio. Let's continue with it. So both of my parents come from Wale Wale, and I'm doing this work. So they call me Wale Wale Larry King, because the other day they said somebody is Wale Wale Adam Smith. So I come from Wale Wale, assuming I do. Both parents come from Wale Wale, so they call me Wale Wale Larry King. That Dampare says today to the parliamentary committee that because both of your parents come from Wale Wale and you come from Wale Wale only, you are not as patriotic as he is. That's dangerous. You see, when you over PR, that's what happens. He's run into a dangerous proposition that the Inspector General of Police, one of the symbols of unity of this country, is telling us that because his father comes from here, mother comes from here, father comes from here, mother comes from here, he is such a detribalized Ghanaian that this Ghana is more important to him than those of us who come from one Ghana, one place in Ghana. That is a violation of the spirit of Article 17. And I was hoping that one of the committee members will raise the point to him that Dr. Dampare, this tangent is a dangerous tangent. You, as the Inspector General of Police, you represent the embodiment of unity of the society. You control one of the most important edifices, institutions of unity. That's what you represent. You don't come and tell us that because I come from here, I am one who wants to protect the Ghanaian enterprise. Atacha introduced a beautiful word today. He said the Ghanaian realm. That's what Atacha said, the Ghanaian realm. Dr. Dampare says that because he's a detribalized Ghanaian, he is more Ghanaian than those who come from one place. So what will, where is the Zanetta Rawlings photograph? What will Dr. Rawlings say? So Zanetta Rawlings' father comes from Zelukopa and Scotland. Half Zelukopa, half Scotland. His mother comes from Ashanti region. So her Ghanaianness is what? Dr. Dampare the question is for Dampare. So Dr. Rawlings, who is member of parliament for Osu, father is from Zelukopa and Scotland. Mother is from Ashanti region. What kind of Ghanaian is she? She's not protecting the Ghanaian enterprise because 1/4 of her is from Scotland. The Supreme Court in Obey-Menu versus Rawlings clearly pointed out the danger in what Dampare is said today to the committee. The danger of what Dampare said to the committee, which is captured in Article 17, was captured by the Supreme Court in the case of Obey-Menu versus Rawlings. Obey-Menu is an Ashanti businessman who had gone to court with a writ against the citizenship of Flight Lieutenant Rawlings. He argued strenuously through his lawyers. I can't remember who his lawyers were, but Rawlings was represented by Joe Randolph. Obey-Menu, he had some Kumasi lawyers with him. He argued strenuously that Flight Lieutenant Rawlings' commitment to the citizens of Ghana should be questioned by the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, why? They said, because he comes from Scotland too. He's from Ghana, he's also from Scotland. And the Supreme Court said, this is the most dangerous proposition that any Ghanaian can think about. That was in 1993. 2023, the IGP, no less a person than the IGP, is taking us back to that situation. IGP is taking us back to the same context that I come from plenty places in Ghana. So if you come from only Wale Wale, I protect Ghana more than you. I am more likely to protect Ghana more than you because you come from only one place in Ghana. I come from plenty places. The most dangerous proposition. But I don't think that IGP intended to say that. He has run into that difficulty because that happens when you are doing too much public relations. Too much of it. Too much. Dampare is doing too much public relations. So he comes to tell all of us that if you come from only Wale Wale and both of your parents come from Wale Wale, I can protect Ghana more than you. I know how to protect Ghana more than you. I will protect Ghana because my mother is from here, my father is from left, my mother is from right, my uncle is from top, and my grandmother is from down. That's what he's telling us today. That's what Dampare is telling us today. But if you come from, your mother is Ghana, your father is Ghana, you are only Ghana, how much of Ghana will you protect? That is so dangerous, so ridiculous, so ludicrous that IGP should not sit in front of a committee of parliament to make that proposition in an effort to court public sympathy. That's the danger of what Dr. Dampare was doing. Let's look at Article 17. It's here. Article 17 of the Republican Constitution, approved in April 1992 and signed by Flight Lieutenant Rawlings in 1993, is as follows. All persons shall be equal before the law. A person shall not be discriminated against on the grounds of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, creed, or social and economic status, gender, race, color, ethnic origin. Now, the point I'm making is that the things that Dampare said today is contrary to the spirit of Article 17. Article 17 would like to contextualize the people of Ghana as equal, irrespective of gender, race, color, ethnic origin, religion, creed, social or economic status. So that's ethnic thing Dampare introduced into his speech, saying that because I am detribalized, I feel that I have a better protection commitment to the Republic of Ghana than another person who is not detribalized. That's wrong. And Lawyer Kwame Jan, please tell Dr. Dampare that if he has opportunity to clarify this matter, he should. Otherwise, he has left some of us with a view that he thinks that if you are a Ghanaian only from Wale Wale, both parents from Wale Wale, or both parents from Bole, then another Ghanaian whose parents are from all over Ghana has a better commitment, whatever, to the Republic than that other Ghanaian. This is a dangerous proposition for an Inspector General of Police to make before a parliamentary committee. And I would like you, Lawyer Kwame Jan, to draw Dr. Dampare's attention to this for the purposes of clarification. I understand that he's appearing before the committee tomorrow. For the purpose of clarification, you should explain what he meant by that. Let's see the video. Let's see the video of what he said. Then we can.
Honorable Chair, the first thing I want to speak to is my parentage. And it's important for a very good reason. I am a multi-ethnic Ghanaian. And the fundamentals is this. My father, Openi George Akosiebufu Dampare, the mother comes from Achemoso, or their ancestral home at Kwawua Sakraka. His father comes from Chebi, and his father comes from the village. I'm trying to put it together, I'm sorry. Begro. And my father's father comes from Begro, and his father comes from Okropon. My mother comes from the Siam. My mother's name is Agnes Siam, maiden name. She comes from the Siam family of Junarase, who migrated to live at Nkonya Ropon. So looking at me, that is the space of my parentage. I am a multi-ethnic Ghanaian, and that is why I'm passionate about Ghana.
I am a multi-ethnic Ghanaian. That is why I am passionate about Ghana. Dampare should withdraw that. Every Ghanaian is passionate about Ghana. Half Ghanaian, passionate about Ghana. Two-thirds Ghanaian is passionate about Ghana. Three-quarter Ghanaian is passionate about Ghana. Whether you are multi-ethnic or not is irrespective to the loyalty to the 1992 Constitution. An Inspector General of Police should not be saying this. It's dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I am a multi-ethnic Ghanaian. That is why. My goodness. This is very wrong. That is why I am passionate about. That is why. So without that, you won't be passionate about Ghana. That is why you are passionate about Ghana. That is why. That is the reason why you are passionate about Ghana. So I'm from Wale Wale, both parents. I don't have a reason to be passionate about Ghana. But this is a leader. You know, I said political because I don't know what election Dampare is running. I think he's running for some election. Otherwise, these things won't happen. When you overdo the public relations, Inspector General of Police, he displayed great demeanor. He displayed the stoicism. Then he starts talking and he says, my mother is from here. And he's even giving us the details of ancestral home. Please, do you know what ancestral home means? So I can be from Ejoso, but my ancestral home is Bremai. That's what ancestral. I can be from Chebi, but my ancestral home is Esiakwa. So it is giving us further, better particulars of details we don't need. He talks about all that and concludes by saying that I am a multi-ethnic Ghanaian And that is why I'm passionate about Ghana. Dr. Dampare should withdraw that. It's more serious than we are making it look like. Dr. Dampare, the inspector, you see, if you are not Inspector General of Police and you're some Paul Adom-Otchere, some journalists talking every day on TV, that's okay. I mean, I can say that I'm not Inspector General of Police. But if you are the Inspector General of Police, if I were president, I'll be worried. But hey, IGP, what did you say at the committee? You said you are multinational. That is why you are passionate about Ghana. So without that, you won't be passionate about Ghana? Is that what you said? Dr. Dampare should withdraw this, or he should clarify it. Maybe withdrawal is too strong. Maybe he's a big man. I'm a small man. I can't ask him to withdraw. It's okay. But he should clarify it. It is wrong to tell the committee that. And I believe that Dr. Dampare did not intend any harm. It is that penchant for public relations and courting public sympathy. That's what has taken him there.